At the Harvey Studio in the capital city, we are the Talking Cheeseheads, Reed and Ben, cheeseheadtalk.com, Cheesehead Talk Radio Network. And on Sunday, in the Wisconsin State Journal, Madison.com, go check it out. There was an article by Tom Oates.
Oatesy.
He's referred to as Oatesy in Madison. And he wrote about Wesley Matthews. Wesley Matthews, Madison Memorial
Junior.
Went to
Wesley Matthews Jr.
Went to Marquette. Not really heavily recruited by Bucky. Don't think they liked his style of play. Got to Marquette.
Too athletic.
Got to Marquette. Was not totally prepared, but did play a lot as a freshman. Developed into a very good player, senior leader. Went undrafted. I'm just giving you the Wesley Matthews story.
Yeah. Instead of actually going to Madison.com and reading the article, Ben will fill you in completely.
I summarize.
Yeah, indeed.
Went to the U.S. Went to the Jazz. Jerry Sloan coached him up. He played hard. He ended up starting for a playoff team. Then decided he wanted to, make a huge payday. All the more power to him. Trailblazers are like $33 million. Here you go.
Jazz said, "Hey, Wes, go do it."
Yeah, go. It's all you, buddy.
Right.
So
go
he's
have
there.
a beer in Portland.
He's hopefully.
We know you can't have beer here.
Yeah, he's hopefully set for life. Right. If he's smart with his money, good for him. And hopefully a good story. I hope Madison kid, NBA player. That's cool. I hope he ends up, with a good, solid career, if not better.
Yeah.
Good for him. Tom Oates wrote an article basically saying all that, and then saying how Wes Matthews is not talking to the local media, even though they have sent out tons of requests to talk to him about it. What a good story. The State Journal is getting pressure from their readership.
Yes.
Saying, why aren't you doing articles on Wesley Matthews? I know why. Because you hate Marquette, you scuzzy jerks. You hate Marquette. You're not even going to give it time of day because you hate Marquette.
Right. And the writers, of course, are going out of their way to say that they have no bias, that they are objective observers of sports.
Or they like Marquette just fine.
Right.
Wes Matthews just doesn't like Wisconsin. Why am I saying all this? Why am I bringing all this up? I thought it was interesting.
Trying to fill time on the website?
Could be.
Okay.
But I also thought it was interesting because I get fired up when the Badgers play Marquette every year.
Yeah.
Okay, I do because I especially with Tom Crean that whole time. And Bo and Tom going back and forth. I don't have an opinion right now on Buzz Williams really, but just the rivalry there, the snobby, greedy, private Marquette, athletic, versus blue collar Wisconsin.
Right.
I love when the Badgers beat them, and I hate when the Badgers lose to them. And I'm wondering. I know the rivalry between the coaches and the players and the schools is big, and they don't like each other. But is it that big, outward of that? I hear a lot of people around the state go, if the Badgers don't win, I root for Marquette.
Yeah,
that's not a rivalry.
No, and I don't really think the players hate each other that much.
Yeah,
I think especially now that Marquette's in the Big East and there's so much rivalry there, and Wisconsin's in the Big Ten. Most of these kids played high school ball together. A lot of them did, at least.
Yeah.
How can you really get that fired up? I mean, maybe you want to go to compete, know. I think it's a friendly rivalry, if nothing else. It's certainly not a hateful rivalry. And I don't think Wes Matthews is blowing off the State Journal's sports writing staff out of some sort of coverage or rivalry spite. I mean, you just want to talk to him.
Yeah, but why not?
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to do an article. Maybe his life is in Portland now. Maybe he didn't really become. Interview. Maybe he's one of those guys who prefers to work with media types that he at least knows as acquaintances, and he probably had a better chance of knowing guys from the Journal Sentinel than he does of the State Journal.
Could be.
I think it's a little petty, in fact, to even put that in the State Journal.
Well, I think
if that's your
themselves.
Well, I think it's stupid that anyone wrote in and asked them to write that article in the first place.
That could be.
To be honest, yeah. I mean, what kind of information do you want? You just told me everything I could possibly want to know about Wesley Matthews Jr. I'm done. Okay, right. I know his dad hit a big shot here for UW back in the day. He was a good basketball player. Yeah. And maybe his son went to Marquette because he didn't want to play, in his dad's shadow.
Which I totally understand. I understand leaving your hometown to go to college.
Right.
I understand that. There's still bad blood with the Vanderblue thing. Maybe not even so much among the UW coaches, but among the fans. The chat boards got full. Wes Matthews apparently had a role in that. So
again,
there was a lot of vitriol there.
If I blame anyone for that situation, it's the UW coaching staff. Whether they want to hear that or not.
Yes and no.
You had a guy signed, and for whatever reason,
I
the door
know.
opened back up.
But the door opened. He opened the door. Now I'm getting into Vander Blue.
Yeah.
And then it was all this blowback from bad. Remember how terrible they were in February, saying the kid's dumb. He's not
Yeah.
making the grade. He's a snobby little jerk.
Yeah.
I mean, he heard all. The coaches didn't do that. They have no control over that.
no,
Because that's not fair to criticize the UW coaches.
I said if I blame anyone.
Yeah, good cover.
But after it happened, yes, I agree. The basketball fans were idiots about it. Give the kid a break.
Yeah, he's a kid.
Yeah, because he wasn't dumb while he was signed to UW.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
He was great. Next superstar.
I think what we're learning is that damn internet
yeah, it's
is really a source of vitriol
we are the Talking Cheese
and allegation.
She said talk.com.
Right on the internet.
And the She Said Talk Radio Network.